Hello, Arti. Now you are unmuted. Are you able to speak?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now I am going to be started. So good morning, ma'am. Actually, recording now need to be
Yes,
started.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shall I start recording?
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Recording in progress.
I have started, ma'am. Don't
Okay,
worry.
sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. No, fine. So good morning, one and all present here. This is Dr. Jaykumar Jain, HOD, MCA, and Innovation Ambassador and Innovation Activity Coordinator, Institute Innovation Council, SIRT Bhopal. As we know that today we all are the part of this session, which is on problem solving and ideation workshop. Our IIC is working day to day in progressive mode from 2019. In 2020, we received 3-star ranking, and in 2021, we received 4-star ranking. Now, in 2022, we are looking for and doing our best efforts for 5-star ranking. And I would like to add one more thing, that this talk is for basically ideation and problem solving. Now, lines are open for new ideas and in Smart India Hackathon 2022. So you can submit your problem in SIS 2022 and take the benefits from this talk and learn how to formulate problem. So I would like to welcome to our guest, Chirag sir. And before starting session, we would like to play our Sage Group journey video clip where we will see the journey from 1983 to till date. So first of all, I will play our Sage Group video so everyone can understand the what is the Sage Group is doing nowadays. Then I will request to the Arti Nair. Then Arti Nair will introduce to our guest and Dr. Chirag sir. Then after that, we will start our session. Okay, sir?
Sure, sir.
Sure. Ma'am, voice is coming from the videos or not?
No, sir.
Okay. Just now it is okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so why this video, all of you have seen that how Sage Group is working day to day in different verticals such as real estate to institute, colleges, university, schools, and many more. From 2022, the one more vertical added in our group. This is the Sage Apollo Hospital. So in this way, we are doing many things for the society and serving very well way. Now I would like to Arthi Nair to introduce to our respected expert, Dr. Chirag sir. Arthi, hello Arthi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now you can
Thank you,
introduce
sir.
sir and welcome also.
Sir, actually, I need camera permission.
Yeah, sure. I'm giving. Niti ma'am, kindly
Yes, sir.
allow her for the camera. Unmute the cameras.
Yes. Yes, Aarti.
Good morning, everyone. On the behalf of Sage Group, myself, Adi Nair, student of MCA final year, welcomes you all for this expert session on problem solving and idea workshop. Before I take just introducing our speaker, please allow me to express my gratitude to Sage Group and my HOD, Dr. Jaykumar Jain sir, for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. It is my great pleasure to introduce and welcome Dr. Chirag S. Thaker, Professor and Head of Computer Engineering Department and IIC President, NISP Coordinator and Innovation Ambassador of Government Engineering College, Rajkot, Gujarat. Dr. Thaker graduated from DTIT NAC, a Bachelor of Degree in Civil Engineering. Dr. Thaker received his PhD from Suresh Kyan Vihar University, Jaipur, Rajasthan, also a PhD research supervisor and having 15 years of teaching experience. Dr. Thaker himself is a river of accomplishment and a big accomplisher. Dr. Thaker has edited a book on data and file structure by Pearson Publication and also published 50 international national conferences and journal papers. You got 2 Best Research Award category for knowledge management in AI and advanced data computing. Dr. Thaker delivered 49 expert talks, webinars, and online sessions. You were the judge, session chair in 12 local and international events. Once again, we welcome you, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Namaskar. Thank
now
you, sir.
Over to you, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you, Aarti Nair, for the generous introduction. It's a great opportunity to be part of Sage University and Sage Group, Sagar Institute of Research and Technology, Bhopal and Indore campus. You are one of the front runners so far as technical education in the state of Madhya Pradesh and entire region is concerned. I take this opportunity to thank Agrawal sir, who is the visionary man along with business. He is doing many philanthropic activities. So let us acknowledge his efforts and let us wish him all the best for the new venture, that is Sage, the hospital initiative. I also take this opportunity to thank Dr. P.S. Rajput, President IIC at SIRT, Dr. Rajiv Srivatsava, Head of Institution SIRT, Dr. Dinesh Kumar Kohli, who is the convener of IIC at SIRT, and obviously Professor Dr. Jaykumar Jain sir, who is head of MCA department and Innovation Activity Coordinator at IIC SIRT. Sir is my point of contact, and it's been a great association with you. And I hope in future also we will have many joint ventures and many activities together. And you are supposed to celebrate your 40th year maybe next year. So I hope the pandemic would be over and I would physically visit your campus when you will have the grand celebration of your 40th year. I thank Professor Niti Shukla, who is member IIC and Innovation Ambassador. And I welcome one and all for this session, and allow me to share my screen through which I'll deliver the content. So I'll just share my screen. I hope.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Sir, I assume that I am audible as well as my screen is visible.
Sir, perfectly.
Yes, sir.
Everything is okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now I think I'm at the right place. Fine. Okay. So am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Perfectly.
Okay.
Perfectly.
So let us start the workshop at SIRT Bhopal, problem solving and ideation. Let us salute the Corona warriors, because since March 2020, what we have witnessed is unprecedented pandemic, which is called COVID-19. And we not only salute the doctors and the paramedical staff, but we also take this opportunity to salute all the Corona warriors, the Safai Karmacharis, the municipality workers, the vegetable vendors, the grocery people, people who delivered goods and grocery items at our doorsteps, all people who has actually helped, especially the academic community, which has very readily adapted online teaching, and from KGs to PhD, they have adapted online teaching and they have made sure that the students are knowledge empowered. So this slide is dedicated to all the Corona warriors. This is an acknowledgement slide, which is customary in nature. The presentation acknowledges content, especially images that are taken from Google. There are many slides where the image source is written. Otherwise, the universal Google image URL is www.images.google.com. I declare here the images are used purely for an academic purpose. The presenter has no intention of copyright infringement. This is one of my favorite quote. It's from Alvin Toffler. He says, the illiterate of 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. People who are in 40s and 50s, they understand that India witnessed a Proud Shiksha Abhiyan. And what was our motive in Proud Shiksha Abhiyan? We used to believe that if person can read a paragraph, or if the person is able to write his name, at least in money order, we used to consider him literate. And then later part of 80s and 90s, we followed Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, where there was a national movement to educate all. But Alvin Toffler has a different perspective. He says in 21st century, you will be considered literate only if you have the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. And all the engineering branches, specifically the branches of ICT, that is information and communication technology, we always believe that we need to adapt to the new technological paradigms, and we have to adapt to this. So learn, unlearn, and relearn very well go with engineering education. This quote is from Albert Einstein, one of the finest brains the world has ever produced. He says, we can't solve the problems by using the same kind of thinking we used to when we created them. That means what he's stressing is something which is out of box. And this is very much associated with what we are going to discuss today. friends, this is going to be my flow of presentation. I would be talking about digital life and footprint, digital footprint. Then we will have a couple of slides dedicated to innovation basics and ecosystem. And then I'll talk about creative thinking and critical thinking. And then we will formally enter the area called problem solving basics and then problem solving process. Then we will also discuss some steps in problem solving. And then the later part of presentation will talk about idea and ideation process. And in the last leg of the presentation, we'll talk about human-centered design with an Apple example and some thoughts on innovation. So this slide comprises of two images. On the bottom right corner, what you are witnessing is October 2021 data about the global internet use. And here you can see that out of 6.9 to 7.2 billion people, there are 4.88 billion people who are global internet users. And out of this internet users, the active is 61.8%. They are active internet users. And the average time spent on internet by this each internet user is 6 hours 58 minutes. And percentage of users who are accessing the internet via mobile devices, they are 90.9%. That is, majority of these people who access internet is through, we call them smartphones or mobile devices or mobility devices. So this is about the global scenario. On the top right corner, top left corner, what you can witness is an individual sitting and he is a consumer. So friends, it is very much evident that since the proliferation of social networking sites, earlier days of internet where there were very few people who were content creators, they used to upload content, and majority of the people, more than 90% of the people used to download the content, and they were just the consumers. We are no longer consumers now. We are quite contributors because of the social networking proliferation. And that's why what you do is you really consume internet in a big way. And when you do this, you spend, and I call it digital life. So the slide which is visible to you actually caters all aspects of your daily life. And you can see that a person is very much engrossed in many of the digital activities through variety of devices. And all these digital activities are very much part of your daily existence. And our internet appetite, or rather our bandwidth appetite, has increased manifold. And that is one reason that before 2.5 years or before 3 years, what we used to do is we used to go for 3 GB or 2 GB bandwidth per month.
Sir, I think you are unmuted. Your voice is not coming. Muted, yeah.
Am I fine, sir? Okay.
Fine.
Okay. So I was very much active while I was very much unmuted when I discussed this digital life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So because of this digital life, this is the result. I call them big five. And who are these big five? Facebook, Amazon, Google, Apple, and Microsoft. And you can see the unbalance of the market capitalization. Now, why it is here? Because of this. This is the revenue stream of big five tech companies. Now, if you focus on Apple, 63% of Apple's revenue, and Apple is now a $1 trillion company. And this is 1.5-year-old slide, but still some almost 550 to 600 billion dollar Apple is earning through sale of one device, that is iPhone. If I talk about Alphabet, which is a parent company of Google, then 88% of its revenue is from advertisements. So this is, if you talk about Microsoft, in case of Microsoft, it is evenly distributed. And this evenly distributed revenue streams comes from Office, they are earning 28%. From Windows Server business and Azure cloud platform, they are earning 22%. From Windows operating systems and network operating system, they are making 9% of their revenue. But if you talk about Facebook and another social media giant, they are making 97% of their revenue through advertisements. And if you talk about Amazon, which is one of the major players so far as digital shopping is or electronic shopping is concerned, it's a very famous shopping platform. 72% of their business is coming from products sell. But friends, the point to understand here is from their media, Amazon Prime, they are making 18% of their revenue. Now, what is the secret behind this? That these 5 tech major companies, if you sum up their market valuations, they are more than 4.3 trillion dollar. And why they are making this much of money? So the answer is one, and that is innovation. So there is a difference between invention and innovation. So it's an ideation process that can surcharge innovation. So invention is one process. So Steve Jobs very rightly said, he said technology alone is not enough. It is the technology married with liberal arts, married with humanities, that yield the result that makes our hearts sing. And that's why invention is all about the technology part and the liberal art part. So let us try to understand what I am actually discussing. So this is about creativity and innovation. So this is the example of creativity and innovation. Now here you can see invention drives the design research, and then ideation and design is very much part of the bubble in which the innovation process is actually accumulated. Now why I am discussing this? On the top left corner, what you can witness is all the product kitty of Apple company. Now there is a retina display, there is Apple Pencil, there is 10 megapixel camera, there is A14 Bionic chip, there is 10 hours of battery life, and all this is displayed. Now why I have kept this? Because invention is something which has made all these 5 companies to be the front runners, and for that they have devised a very good systematic innovation process. Now why this is important? Let me just share one example. If we have one international company's smartphone or mobile phone with 12 megapixel camera, and we have the same 12 megapixel camera with Apple iPhone, you are well aware that the Apple iPhone picture quality and the image capturing you and other aspects are far better than the another 12 megapixel camera. Now if friends, technical definition of 12 megapixel camera remains the same, then both these picture quality should be same, but that is not the case. Why? Because apart from the electronic aspects of image capturing and image rendering capabilities, what Apple is adding its own algorithms and its own processor inputs to better display the images, capture the images and then display the images. And for that you need very fertile brains, you need very innovative mindsets to develop such kind of products and processes, and that is why innovation is important. So this one example, 12 megapixel camera example, is sufficient enough for us to understand that yes, we can go with invention, but a very strong, very powerful innovation process is required. So this is the types of innovations. You can have ecology of innovations, which can have variety of innovations like social innovation, design innovation, technical innovation, business innovation, and political innovation. Political innovation is all about institutionalization. Social innovation is all about virtualization. How do we want to live our lives? The society culture is part of the social innovation. Visualization is all about design innovation, and replication is all about technical innovation. So here there's a difference between creativity and efficiency. Creativity has 3 main aspects: uncertainty, unpredictability, and disruption. So creativity say do it differently, and that's why there is a quote from Satya Nadella. He says our industry does not respect tradition, our industry respects innovation. And when industry respects innovation, uncertainty, unpredictability, and disruption is very much part of that gamut. But efficiency is all about certainty, predictability, and routine, and that is do it better. So there's always a finer balance at the corporate level between creativity and efficiency. These are 9 types of innovations: disruptive innovation, service innovation, process innovation, product innovation, incremental innovation, breakthrough innovations. Now, what is the example of disruptive innovation? The best example is very much popular in the social media platforms also. That is the Kodak camera example. Now, why this Kodak camera example? Because it is one innovation that displays established companies or industries. In fact, we take 12 to 14 times more images than we used to take with these Polaroid cameras. But still, we do not go for printing of that. There is always a product innovation, introduction of new or significantly improved product that generates new customer value. The example is iPad or tablet devices or iPhone. Incremental innovation, small continuous improvements to the existing products. And the very famous example is Hindustan Liver Limited products, because this FMCG company always brings novelty to their existing products, not only in terms of size and price segment, but always in terms of features and modalities of operation. There is one is called service innovation, introduction of new or significantly improved services. Ola and Uber is the example of service level innovation. So when we talk about innovation, there are 2 aspects which are very much important, because critical thinking and creative thinking basically drives innovation. So what is creative thinking? Creative thinkers are those who think out of box. People who are poet, who are script writers, who write novels, people who are painters, people who make sculptures. These are all creative people. Designers, architects, songwriters, directors, musicians, all these people are creative geniuses. And for them, it is creative thinking. It is like imagination, invention, creation. But there is another lot. Since the human civilization, the another lot is critical thinkers. Now, who are critical thinkers? Critical thinkers are nothing but they are problem solvers. The main trait of critical thinkers are problem solving approach. And we put all engineering fraternity under the umbrella of critical thinkers. What they are supposed to do? They are going to analyze the situation. They can break down the larger problem and they just try to solve it. They can compare 2 solutions and find out the better one. They can compare 2 situations and they can see that this is a better one. They can list the available options. They can sequence also based on certain criteria. So they can put the available options into ascending and descending order. They can also do the ranking. But problem solving sometimes also require creative thinking also. So problem solving is all about improvisation, design, combine, and invent. So this slide is for critical thinking, creative thinking, and problem solving. Now here you can see that the main idea is solution, outcome, strategies, and evaluation. And creative thinking is focusing on acquiring competencies. Critical thinking is more towards evidence and positions and to derive conclusions. Critical thinking is also about issues and contextual assumptions. But problem solving approach is very much focused on defining the problem and implementing the solutions. But when we combine creative thinking and problem solving together, it is all about taking risks, solving problems, and innovation. But when we combine problem solving and critical thinking, it is all about issues, solving issues, and making assumptions. So this is the journey of critical thinking. You start with analyze, then you go with interpret, then you evaluate based on certain criteria. Then based on the merits and demerits, you make the decisions. And then after, what you do is you will go with problem solving. So let us now enter the topic for problem solving with this much of background. So what is a problem? A problem arises when a living creature has a goal but does not know how this goal is to be reached. So a problem exists, and this is a definition, 1945 definition by Dunker. He says a problem exists whenever one cannot go from one given situation to the desired situation simply by action. So now if we sum up this definition part, what is problem solving? Problem solving is the process of working out or discovering how to reach such a goal. So these are the basics of problem solving approach. Just for my confirmation, I hope the screen is completely visible and I am comfortably audible.
Yeah, sir. Completely and perfectly it's going on. Everything is fine, sir.
Fine. Thank you, sir.
Sure,
Thank
sure.
you very much. So these are the basics. So when you go with problem solving basics, the main idea is to pick a small problem or inconvenience in your life at the moment. So problem is not always which is there on a piece of paper. Inconveniences in your life is also the problem. Then the second stage is what is causing or maintaining that problem, why you are in that position or in that situation. Then the third major point to consider is what are some potential solutions, and then list the pros and cons or strength and weaknesses of each solution. Then which solution do you think you could most feasibly do? Would you need any help to implement the solution? If so, then who, when, where, what, and how? These are the questions to find out the resources of the solution. Because if you need somebody's help or if you need some kind of help, then you are going to ask these questions: who, when, where, what, and how. The next step is to create a plan to implement the solution. Again, you will think from 4W and 1H: who, when, W, what, and how. Can you think of any barriers you might encounter and what will we do about them? So these are very basics of problem solving. So it's an iterative process. So basically in this iterative process, what we try to do is define the problem, determine the causes, develop the solutions, select the solution. That is stage number 4. Step number 5, implement the solution. And step number 6, evaluate the value of the solution. Because you define the problem in the very first step, in the 6th step, you are going to evaluate the value of the solution. Now, once you do that, in our day-to-day life, we come across two kind of people or two kind of situations. One is problem-focused people or problem-focused situations. Another is solution-focused situations. Solution focus thinks about what is wanted, what is working in the right directions, progress about the solution, collaboration, collaborative aspects, resources and strengths. Problem focus is all about what is wrong, what needs fixing, blame and control. The expert knows the best, and deficits and weaknesses. So and sometimes you need both, the rightful mixture of problem focus and solution focus. Now, how to combine them or why to combine them? So problem focused individuals are really good at identifying what are the problems and where they are causing the difficulties. But more important aspect is solution focused individuals. On the other hand, they are better at solving problems. They are really good at identifying the interventions. Now, once we understand that, again we come to that iterative cycle of steps to solve a problem. Identify the problem, you develop the alternatives, select the best alternative or the best solution, implement it, and then you ask the question, did the solution work? If yes, it is done. If it is no, this is a flowchart kind of slide. If no, again you will go back to your problem. So once I understand the basics of how we are going to do with problems, let us try to understand the vital problem solving. This is one category of problem solving. Now, what does it convey to us? It is 5 major stuff. VITAL. What is V? Verify reality. So what's happening? I, inspire ideal outcome. What's your ideal outcome? T, tackle gaps. What is the gap? A, agree on action. What will you do? And L, learn and review. What have you learned? So this is also one important aspect. Now we come back to our problem solving fundamentals. There are 4 types of problems with 2 kinds of approach towards it. One is reactive approach or caused approach. Another one is created or proactive. Now, what is type 1? It is troubleshooting. Type 2 kind of problem is gap from the standard or deviation from the standard situation or standard aspects. Now, proactive approach is all about type 3 and type 4, new target condition or innovation. So it is either reactive or proactive approach. So let us try to enlarge these 4 types of problem. The first kind of problem where a problem is very well known and solution just requires action. Any person who comes there are many labor categories problem which fall under this. You only need to do that work. Just you complete the task and the problem is solved. The second category requires the problem is known, but solution requires additional expertise. So any Tom, Dick and Harry cannot just carry out the action or task and complete the problem or solve the situation. Here you require additional expertise to solve the problem. Now the third one is where the problem is known, but solution requires creative approaches. So this is a special category of problem where the problem or the issue is known, but solution requires some kind of creativity also. So only additional expertise is not going to solve the purpose. And the fourth is where it is a special kind of problem. It is need to be identified. It is like solving the innovation kind of problem. Now, once understand this, let us go with one well-known strategy to solve the problem. It is called 5 whys approach, and we are going to discuss 2 major examples of this 5 whys approach. So this is all about you have one approach which is 5 why approach, and for that you are going to do the brainstorm. You can also do pros and cons, and there is also the tuning, because there are many industry or conveyor belt related problems or manufacturing industry related problem where tuning or finer adjustment is going to solve the problem. So this is also one way. Now this is the example of problem solving 5 why funnel. It's you will ask 5 why questions, and every answer to one single why will take you to the solution. So this 5 why is called 5 why analysis. It's an investigation of root cause. So how you are going to do? So why did we have the problem? Why did it get to the customer? And why did our system fail? These are 3 major aspects. So basically this 5 why funnel has 2 major stuff. One is grasp the situation. That is the larger part of the funnel. And another one is cause investigation. And in cause investigation, you are going to ask the why questions 5 times. And every answer will give you cause number 1, cause number 2, cause number 3, cause number 4, and 5. And after the 5th why is over, you will arrive at the root cause. And once you understand the root cause, you can go with corrective action. And this corrective action will make sure that your systematic correct action is taken. But before we start, the first part of the funnel is grasp the situation. In that, you are going to have 3 major stuff. One, so it's called basic cause or effect investigation. The second stage of this funnel is area of cause located. Where in the process is the problem occurring? Pinpointing the area, pinpointing the situation where the problem is occurring. It's called area of cause located. And then go see the problem. It's called point of cause, POC. And once this the larger part of the funnel is done, that is 3, that is grasp the situation is done, you will go with cause investigation. And this cause investigation has nothing but ask why question 5 times. And that's why this funnel is called 5 why funnel. Now this is the theoretical discussion. Let us take 2 industry examples just to understand this. So the first one is the 5 why analysis for problem where the conveyor belt on the main production line has stopped. This is a very well-known industry problem that conveyor belt has stopped. Let us ask the first why question. Why has the conveyor belt stopped? The main pulley, the answer is the main pulley, which is responsible for rotating the belt, is not functioning properly. Then obviously, second why is the main pulley not functioning correctly? Because answer is because it is not getting enough power from the motor. Now the third why question is why is it not getting enough power from the motor? Because the motor has stopped working. That's the answer. That is cause number 3. Why number 4, number why has the motor stopped working? Because the motor winding has burned out, and that's the cause number 4. Why 5? Why has the winding burned out? Because the motor was loaded beyond its power capacity. And now the 6 why was the motor overloaded? Instructions about the motor's maximum load weight were missing on the appropriate part of the motor, and that is the root cause. So after asking 5 why questions, we have come to the why where you have got the root cause. So the conveyor belt has stopped, but when you ask these 5 why questions, ultimately you come to know that the instructions about the motor's maximum load weight were missing on the right place of the motor. Likewise, another example is why did the robot stop? This is the second example. The circuit has overloaded, causing a fuse to blow. Why is the circuit overloaded? There were insufficient lubrication on the bearings, so they locked up. This is the cause of the second why question. The third why question goes like this. Why was there insufficient lubrication on the bearings? The answer is the oil pump on the robo is not circulating sufficient oil. Why is the pump not circulating sufficient oil? The pump intake is clogged with metal shavings. That is the cause number 4. And the fifth why is the intake clogged with metal shavings? Because there is no filter on the pump. So the robot stopped, but what is the root cause? There was no filter on the pump. So asking this, it's one way of solving the industrial problem. So now coming to ideal, identify the problem, define the cause, explore the possibilities, act and look and learn. And this is Toyota's 7-step practical problem solving process. Grasp the situation has 3 major steps. Initial problem perception, large, vague, complicated problem. Second, clarify the problem, the real problem. Locate area or point of cause, that is POC. In SSIP world, in innovation ecosystem, for us, POC is proof of concept. But here, POC is point of cause. So once you understand POC, you go with direct cause. Cause number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is cause investigation. And once you understand root cause, then you do the reverse engineering. Countermeasure, evaluate, and standardize. So these examples actually tells us that yes, it is one way of looking at problem solving approach in industries. But there are many industries which requires lateral thinking instead of traditional thinking. So you can see the approach of traditional thinking and the approach of lateral thinking. Now, this is a creative problem solving approach. So you will start with a problem recognition, problem identification, idea generation, decision making, plan crafting, be the champion, implement, and stay informed. Now we come to the ideation part. Where is ideation? So there is a lot of chaotic process. I call it brainstorming chaotic process. And then it's actually, when we zoom into it, it passes through validation. And now we come to MVP, minimum viable product, and then tractation. And this tractation actually gives you ideation. So let us try to understand how it actually works. So in the initial phase, if we analyze the previous slide in a greater detail, it is initially a very confusion kind of stuff. There's a lot of confusion matrix or chaotic process. and it consumes a lot of time and money. And then you proceed with validation, and it's a yeah moment. And this validation actually gives you a single thread towards the ideation part, and it is called minimum viable product. And then when you go to tractation, it is woo moment, or you can call it eureka moment. So that's the journey of ideation. So let us define ideation. Ideation is the process of generating ideas on one or more subjects in a creative open environment. So creative open environment is the main buzzwords. This is a powerful method at any stage of the development process. Ideation can be used to uncover new product concepts without fear or judgment or ridicule, or as well as to trace out ways of solving development issues or market challenges. Now, once I understand ideation, let us try to understand the cycle of ideation. It starts with research and analysis, then service concept design, then technical feasibility, workshops, and fifth is client user review. Now, what is an ideate stage? So ideate is all about explore opposites and question, identify unexpected resources, analyze and amplify good and eliminate bad. So this is all about ideate. Same slide, but with different outlook. Amplify good and eliminate bad. So after analyze, you will find both good and bad. What you are going to do is amplify the good part of the ideation process, eliminate the bad or the less promising part of the ideation process. So once you understand the ideation process, you have to also put this ideation into one quadrant where you have two axes, x-axis and y-axis. X-axis is all about normal ideas and original ideas. And on y-axis, you have easy to implement and impossible to implement. Now, normal ideas and easy to implement is now quadrant. High acceptability, low risk. Original ideas is all about wow moment. It is innovative enough and it is breakthrough ideas. There is also one moment, it's called how moment. It is the juncture of impossible to implement and original ideas. So it is dream or challenges or ideas for future. If we again continue with the same ideation process discussion, there are three major points. Number one, maximize and record collective knowledge. Number two, drive idea execution. And number three, deliver measurable results. Number one is all about create, collect, and collaborate. So stage number one of the ideation process is all about 3 C's: create, collect, and collaborate. Second stage is driven by manage, develop, and decide. And the third stage is populated with plan, socialize, and monetize aspects. So ideation process is all about idea generation and refinement. So if you want to sum up this whole ideation process in steps, it is all about idea generation and then refinement. Now that you have plethora of ideas, it's time to begin narrowing them down. So if you take the example of content optimization, because many people are now content creators, as I said, in this ICT era. So it's written content and visual content. And what you are going to do is you are going to revolve around mirroring the word choice and tone of your audience, and while offering them unique content at hand. So that is about written content. Visual content is all about jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai kind of. So by using computer vision and AI, you can create individual objects, elements, colors, styles of images, and creative marketeers. So you can put them so that the engagement matrix is really refined. Now we come back again to the ideation part. So it's basically 7 steps and 4 quadrants. We already discussed how and wow part. Now, keeping the same how and wow segments, let us try to understand the ideation journey. So there is understand, make, abstract, and real. And in the center of the crossroad, your number 1, that is sense the intent. Then number 2 is know the context, that is real part. Then understand part, know the people. Then 4, frame insights. It is abstract part, frame insights. Then number 5, explore concepts, where ideation plays a major role. Number 6, frame the solutions. That is abstract part. So 4, 5, and 6 is abstract part. 2, 7 is real part. And 7 is realize the offering. Once I understand this, let us try to put ideation with our business plan and implementation. So ideation is all about analyze your idea, try to find out the business value of an idea, because you can have very many crazy ideas every day, but you have to find out the demand matrix, the business value. Then if your idea is strong enough, you have to work on skill and dependency and the compliance part. But the business plan talks about company structure, product and services, market research, business strategy, and financial forecast. But that is your business plan. Your implementation is all about activities, processes, governance, and measurement. So if we enlarge our innovation process, your innovation process, which has been given by Hansen and Borchan in 2007, it is about idea generation, idea selection, development, and diffusion. But idea generation is opportunity-led ideation method as part of idea generation. And idea generation itself is of 4 stages: initiation, immersion, investigation, and integration. And once your idea generation, these 4 stages are over, then it can go with idea selection, development, and diffusion. This is your digital innovation toolbox. It's a misfit slide, but I have kept it here because there are a lot many products like Miro or Hive or Crowd or Teve, which you can use to create your digital innovations. So digital innovation has a lot to do with ideas, then insights, then it comes concepts and prototypes, innovation management, all this. So if you are working with a digital innovation toolbox, it is all about review your content, concepts, and the formations, creative visuals, web design, because you have to create visuals, web design, and then you can go live. And when we will discuss the Apple example, it will be clear. The whole ideation process in the innovation toolbox will be clear. But before that, we continue our discussion with idea evaluation process. So the idea evaluation process has 2 major verticals: idea evaluation and business case creation. So idea evaluation, and people who are associated with IIC or SSIP ecosystem at their academic institutes or corporate world, they are very much aware about idea pre-screening decisions, evaluation, steering committee, and decision for proposal. And there are 3 major key criteria for idea evaluation. What are those? Sufficient degree of innovation should be part of this idea. Target market and business potential associated with the idea, and risk and feasibility part of the idea evaluation. So idea pre-screening is about strategic literature, technical feasibility, market situation, and introduction to inspire. And evaluation is based on competitive situation, revenue potential, project scope, and overlap. Decision for proposal is top idea evaluation and SPP level. But business case creation passes through 2 major steps: proposal and board decision and excuse me. Okay. So if we continue the same, now this is the way we implement the idea. Ideation, concept development, product development, and product launch. Between concept development and product development, there is concept screening. And between product development and product launch, there is pre-launch testing. And after your product is launched, there is post-launch evaluation. So in ideation, it is about knowledge immersion, consumer immersion, generating insights, and generating ideas. Concept development is all about concept development and concept screening. And in that phase, you develop and refine concepts. Select those with greatest potential. In product development, it is all about product design, product testing, mix development, pre-launch validation, that is simulated test market. And in this stage, you design and develop product and mix, and you go with go or no-go decision based on the test benchmarks. If your test benchmarks are satisfactory, you take go decision. If your test benchmarks are not satisfactory, you say no-go decision. And once your product is launched, product launch and post-launch validation. Now, once I understand this, let us again revisit various gates, phase 0 to phase 5. Phase 0 is ideation, then scope of business or idea scope, building business case, development, testing and validation, and launch. So this is the innovation ecosystem. I have already told you that people who are with academics or industry, they know innovation ecosystem. So this is a figure in which you can very easily understand that in initial, you may have 1,000 applications at university levels, and you them innovator development phase. And out of this, the actual incubators are hundreds. So from thousands, you zero down to hundreds. Now hundreds, they are in startup phase. And accelerators play a vital role in the startup phase. But out of these 100 who are the entrants, the actual output is 10. And this 10 is the actual successful startups. Even though accelerator supports were there, incubators were very much there, these incubators, only out of 100, only 10 will come out. And this 10 will enter the scale-up phase, where venture capital will come into picture, and venture capitalists will support them to scale up their startup model or business model. But even after venture capitalists full support, these 10 people who are entering or 10 groups who are entering the scale-up phase, only 1 or 2 will come out, and they will go with growth phase. That is the actual scale part. Private equity is required. And out of these 2, only 1 will go to public market, and they will form into large companies. So scale-up phase may have professionals, but growth phase will give you the actual startups, the successful startups. And out of these successful startups, 1 would be large or form a large company, where the example of Ola or Uber or the unicorns, the best word is unicorns. So out of 1,000 people entering the innovation ecosystem, 1 or 2 actually go to public marketing in the form of large companies. Now we say design thinking. Little bit odd, but it was originated at Stanford University Institute of Design, human-centered approach to innovation. And because we are going to discuss human-centered design, I thought we should have a word with design thinking. Empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test stage. So this is ideate, how to brainstorm creative human-centered ideas. So it is lead with user needs, innovate multifunctional teams, lay down the rules, separate idea generation and evaluation. You have to put them in different groups. Think about how to communicate ideas. And now we come to the last layer of our presentation. It's called human-centered design. So human-centered design is all about user experience. That's where the Apple Kitty or some of the best products or some of the best processes are actually driven out. So it is all about people, technology, business, and design. If I think about people, it is all about consumers or end users. If I talk about business, business is all about vision, goals, business analysis, demographic analysis, budget, and client. If I say design, the aspects, the points to consider are mindset, aesthetics, creativity, experimentation, visual design, critical design, cultural probes, and all this. Now technology is all about functionality, engineering, feasibility, realistic, complex, and performance. Now, if we take the cross-section of people and technology, it is nothing but human factors, ergonomic, applied ethnography. But the cross-section of design and business is branding, marketing, design thinking, market communication. The cross-section of technology and business is efficiency, logic, and relevance. But the cross-section between technology and people is simplicity, usability, effectiveness, interaction, and prototyping. And the overall cross-section is nothing but user experience. And user experience has flavors like innovation, design, research, stakeholders, reliability, validity, simplicity, usability, testing, effectiveness, prototyping. And ultimately you get the best of the user experience. So if you have the full-fledged implementation of human-centered design, ultimately you get some of the finest user experience. And this is the example. This is the example. It's about the design of one hardware component, and that's why I have taken this example. We used to use laptops for a couple of decades, rather, almost 18 to 20 years. It took 12 years to this product designer from curving to the standard straight design to this curved design. It required engineering innovation, product innovation, and some of the finest engineering developments so that we can devise a laptop with the curved edges. And that's why the MacBook, Mr. Steve Jobs marketed by taking it out of the envelope box, airmail envelope. So the straight lines of this standard design to this curved design, it took almost 12 to 14 years. And I call it technological breakthrough. I call it innovation breakthrough. I call it design breakthrough. So this is the example of hardware design breakthrough, which is visible in your screen. And if I need that design breakthrough, this is the second example from Apple company. You can see how minutely it's all about design, ergonomic, electronics, and all this. You can see the iPhone screen and how minutely they have decided in millimeters, 29.27, 19.27, front camera, 5.25, 10.10 millimeter 35, overall 49.92. So this is how the actual design innovation takes place. This is the software human-centered design. And the same practice, not only Apple, the same practice is followed at Google also. Google search engine, when you look at the way the colors and the images are reflected, it is also the design level thinking process. So here you can see how minutely they have analyzed every single screen. So you will do a lot many touch activities, and every single touch activity will give you a new screen. But how this rendering of new screens should be given to end users, the customers, these people have really worked it very hard. And sometimes they use blank pages just to make sure that this kind of images or printouts are displayed, put them on table, and that's how they work on the every single. And then they ask their software engineers and product designers to come up with the optimized operating system or software screens. And software screens are just the user interface. Actually, it is the engineering acumen at hardware level, at software level, at application level, which actually gives you these screenshots. So this is the example of human-centered design at software level. So what we have discussed is human-centered design at hardware and human-centered design beauty at software level. And I come to end last part of my presentation where I say it's a quote from Steve Jobs, one of my favorite design innovators. You can quote him, disagree with him, glorify him, or vilify him. But about the only thing you can't do is ignore him, because he changed things. He pushed the human race forward. And while some may see him as a crazy one, we see him genius. And this is regarding the, after praising Mr. Steve Jobs, this is regarding our journey. We in the end of the 17th century, we started with the steam engine and the steam revolution. It's called the first industrial revolution, which was started from 1760 to 1820. From 1820 to 1900, it was second industrial revolution, which was propelled by electricity. The third industrial revolution was dominated by computing. The complete 19th century, later part of 20th century. And today we are witnessing the fourth industrial revolution. It is based on intelligence. So this is the journey of the industrial revolutions. So computers are like bicycles for our minds. This is from Mr. Steve Jobs. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
I think we are very much in time in terms of 1 hour.
Yeah, sir. Session was very perfect and very fruitful and knowledgeable.
Yes, sir.
Now, I would like to call our convener, Dr. Kohli, sir. Dr. D.K. Kohli, sir. Are you there, sir? Ma'am, kindly unmute to the Kohli, sir. Kohli, sir will be
Yes, sir. Yes,
here,
sir.
I think.
Exactly.
Or make him a co-host. So that will be good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Sir, there are too many things which is covered in your session, and all the participants have enjoyed and they learn many things. Definitely, I think once a time there were 100 plus participants, 100 to 10 participants have joined the session and learned the many things. Now I would like to welcome to the Dinesh Kohli, sir. Kindly vote of thanks for the session, and thanks to the our Chirag, sir.
Okay, sir.
Ma'am, share the link for the certificates also.
Sir, Dr. J.K. Jain, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Shared.
can you at the same time also share the certificate for the our speaker, sir?
Yeah, sure.
You are having, yeah. So I will also combine that, yeah. So,
Yeah, this is the certificate, sir.
yeah. So very good morning to all of you, and particular expert of this today's talk, Dr. Chirag Thaker, sir. Sir, very good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
Fine, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. And sir, first of all, I would like to say for your wonderful session, how you have made this session, and it is really wow. I want to say wow. To our students as well as including faculty, because sir, we are also having a group of the members in our IIC, including more than 50 students at the coordinator in our IIC, as well as we are working on the different projects ideation. At the same time, sir, we are also going for submission of some solution for the problem in the Smart India Hackathon also. So with the discussion, our innovation coordinator, Dr. J.K. Jain, sir, we have decided to conduct such a session so that it will be beneficial for our students and the faculty members also. And what we have expected, sir, you have done more than that, sir. We are very, very happy by conducting this session, sir. So it was very nice session. And from sir, we are working under the group, that is the SAGE group, and our CMD, sir, Engineer Sanjay Wal, sir, he is the chairman of that. We are having the two universities, one is university at the Indore and one at Bhopal, and 5 institutes are there, including pharmacy institute, etc. And we are having a large group, construction group, etc. Our BCM, sir, of this SAGE group, Dr. Prashant Jain, sir, two executive directors, Ms. Shivani Agarwal ji and Ms. Sakshi Agarwal ji, respected director of our institute, Dr. Rajesh Srivastava, sir, I am being the convener of the IIC team. Coordinators Dr. J.K. Jain sir, and in coordination as well as with Prof. Nidhi Shukla ma'am. Other members are also there, Dr. Uday Palmer sir, Professor Nirzar Gupta sir, and different members as well as students who have joined this program, and they really enjoyed the session. So from my IIC team, my SAGE group, my directors are on behalf of all, sir, I would like to share as a token of love this certificate of appreciation. So ma'am, please share that certificate.
जैन सर आप कर रहे हैं अच्छा
So please accept
सर
this.
सर जैन सर आप अनम्यूट कर लीजिए
Yes, ma'am.
I humbly
Sir,
accept the certificate and your showering of blessings and good wishes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And I think, sir, we will be further connected because we are having further program also. So we will further connected and will get your guidance and motives of students also. So I would like to congratulate all these members from my side and for the faculty member who have joined, students who have joined, enjoyed the session and make this program successful, as well as I would like to thank other members also who are not from this group or from the outside. They have also enjoyed the session. Thank you very much to all of you for joining, and we will meet you further again. Now it's over to you, Dr. Jain sir. Please continue.
yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, definitely, sir, I would like to thanks to the MIC and our SAGE groups, and as well as Government Engineering College, Rajkot, for giving the such a wonderful opportunity for conducting such a wonderful program, sir. So, sir, thank you, sir. And Chirag, sir, thank you so much. Definitely, sir, in coming days, we will try to conduct such a program in a physical mode. So we will call to you. Or, sir, that's a great.
Sir, we both are 4-star colleges, and we have higher aspirations to transform our 4-star status to 5-star. So
Sure,
in
sure.
future also, we can definitely make golden handshake and make sure that our IIC becomes more vibrant in days to come.
Definitely.
थैंक यू सर थैंक यू सो मच
Because sir, you are also the IIC president and NISP coordinator, so we would like to have some of the guidance from you regarding NISP also.
Sure, sir.
And,
Sure.
so this will not
Sure,
be here.
sure.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your patient listening. Thank you all the office bearers for the motivation, and my point of contact, Dr. Jain sir, for his thank you.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sure, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
ठीक है, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Oh, fine, sir. Fine.
Calling
Thank
that
you, sir.
in.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very
sir,
much.
sir.
Thank you.
Um,
So I take the liberty to leave the WebEx link now.
बिल्कुल